Okay. All right, guys. Welcome to today's stream. This is Vett's Build episode 2. And if you were in the last stream, we talked about what Vett is. We did some introduction, and we also explained we talked about the five agents, and also we did some little research. And so today we are going to be working on the back end for the Vett's products. And then so before I started the stream, I actually made some little research, and then made did some things in the back end before I started the stream. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I actually did, and then we are going to continue. I haven't really done much, so there's nothing much to say, but then I still have like talk about what I did earlier. I did make some, how the flow of the back end is going to go. So these are what we are going to be doing today. We are going to be working on the back end, and then see how it goes from there. And while I was away, I actually did some research earlier, which I realized some of the flow I was using before is kind of not suitable for what we are building. So I might have to change it. For example, I currently use full Vercel, which actually kills the standard, serverless. And then I also, there is some runtime restrictions which I faced earlier. But then we are going to change everything. But today we are going to be working on the back end, and then work on the coordination and all the agents. So let's just get right to it. Okay, so let's just go straight to this, and then we are going to be working on the backend flow. I think I wrote some things on my I think I wrote some things on my notepad, which we're going to be doing live on this stream today. So if you are here now, we should actually get straight to it. So I already told Codex some things, and then we have go back and forth on how the backend flow is going to go. And if you remember in the last stream, I talked about it gave me some details it was going to use for the agents, but then I had to do my own research, and then I've given it what I want. So I'm just going to be going straight to this now. So next thing on my list is to work on this block, the foundation of the backend, and then we are going to be doing some changes. Yeah, so we are going to be working on the type session. Let me just copy this and then send it to my codex. We are going to be working on this. We are going to be working on this now. I'm going to be working on this now. We are going to be doing a lot today. We are going to be installing more dependencies. I mean, we are going to be changing to Upstart Redis. with that actually like is our database and connected to the stream. We are also going to be I'm also going to be doing a lot of stuff from the coordination down to research down to the 5 agents. I don't know if you are going to be able to finish it this night, but then we are going to be doing it one by one. But then I don't think I'm going to be testing it on this live because on some API keys, so I don't expose them to the stream. Yeah, so right now it's just installing the upstash and ready. So I think it's going to take some few more minutes. So let's just wait for it. Yeah, for those who doesn't know what Upstash is, Upstash Redis is actually a serverless, database service, that is actually compatible with Redis API, and Vercel support that. Unlike all these traditional managed Redis services, Upstash only is kind of serverless, and then you pay for only the requests you send. So I think that's going to be a good one for us, but with time we are going to know whether it's good or not. And it also have a durable storage and global replication, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be using it for these products. So while we are going to wait for the codex to finish building. Yeah, and if you are just joining the stream, I'm building this Vett product. Vett is actually an AI due diligence product. And then let me just show you guys directly. It's not like a research committee, when you drop a Web3 project into it, it does some research and see whether you actually need to invest in this product or not. So that's exactly what Velt does without complicating the whole thing. And in my last stream, I explained how this agent works and all. And then yeah, it's a professional multi-agent due diligence for crypto investors, users, research teams, and all. So let's just get straight to, let me check whether codex is done. Okay, so now we are done with the block one, which is the foundation. Before I go to the next one, I just need to check whether okay. So we are now done with block one, which define every interface. We have now updated the Upstash client and key helpers. We also create sessions and write meter to session IDs and all. So we are going to be going straight to, without wasting much of our time, we are going to be going straight to the second block, which is the coordinator QA, quality assurance. So that's what we are going to be going next to. We are going to be testing it one after the other, but then we just need to get every backend done without wasting much of our time. Proceed to working on this. Okay, now we are just going to wait for Codex to do its thing. I'm still going to review every block it has done, but for now let's just get the foundation done, and then we can just go back to verifying each and every update it has done. Okay, now so it's updating the session and Redis layer. So I think this is the one it's working on right now. So let's just wait for it to be done before we go back to the next, go to the next update. All right, I think it is done now. Let me just check what it does. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay, so we are just going to go straight to the next block, which which is the coordinator research. Don't mind whatever this is showing, it's not going to take us that minutes. I mean, AI is fast. And then let's just go straight to the next one. Okay, now codex is working on the next one, so let's just wait for it to load. I'm sure some of you guys might be wondering why I didn't use Postgres or Supabase for the for the database, but I think I already explained why what abstraction this is, serverless and not. So this is why I'm actually doing that. Dependency is in. Okay, I think it's still working on it right now. Okay, I think it's working on it right now, extending this to Redis. And also another thing I would like to say on why I'm choosing Redis is because speed is actually one of the reasons I'm choosing, for a product like Vett that actually handles real time, state, like the likes of sessions. I think what else? Sessions, states, results and tracking. I don't want the overhead of like a traditional database where every milliseconds actually counts when I'm building something that feels so. Okay, okay. So I said we are going to be working on the synthesis agent, which is going to, like, read all the five agents and then check out what they have written and then combine every report from each agent into a memo. I think my stream got cut off, so I had to see that again. So this is the last this is the last code we are going to be running tonight on the back end, and then I'm going to like test it and then add the API keys and all. So we are now going to like check it out later. Okay, synthesis route is in place now. Okay, so that's actually very fast. I think we spent some few minutes in the air and we are almost done. And that's one thing about building nowadays, because we got AI now, and so building is not going to be hard. The hardest part is debugging what it has written for you, but if you know what you are doing, that's not a problem. And you know, we are not dealing with users from there, so there's nothing to worry about when it comes to security or anything else. So that's just it. So let's just wait for codex to be done with this, and then we know what's next. And then one thing I'm just thinking of right now is, you know, I said 5 agents, but then I'm going to like look at the flow later on. 5 agents, I talked about 5 agents and then a synthesis agent. Does that make it 6 agents or what? We talked about 5 agents and then a synthesis agent. Does that make it 6 agents? We have to like, you know, think about how that has to go. Also, the synthesis agent we have to be the I think the synthesis agent we have to be the coordinator agent as well. So that makes it 6 agents. But then for products, you can choose plus one synthesis layer. Shouldn't be worrying about marketing for now. We should worry about, you know, it working right. Okay. So now we are almost done, but we are here to add the API keys, and you know, we are here to add the API keys and then decide on what AI service provider we are going to be using. And I think I have, let me check if I still got some Anthropic credits. Maybe we can just do that on this stream tonight. But then if I don't, we might have to like just postpone it to the next stream. Let me check right now. Okay. Okay, so I need to put the upstart shredded tabili and then the API keys, which I'm going to be doing in the next stream. And thank you for joining me today. And if you are just joining, I'm building Vett. And Vett is not just a chatbot. It's not like a search engine which you can just ask questions and then it gives it. It's like a research committee that works for you. And the reason I'm also building this in public is not just to show you the code, but to show you the reasoning. Because if you are building anything in Web3, whether it's a community or not, the people who actually are the people who wins are not the ones with the best tools. It's actually the people who understand why these tools work. And so thank you for watching me build this, and then, you know, feel free to ask me questions and let's find out if this works. And I'll see you on the next stream. Before then, my this would have been ready. The tabili, the whether I'm using Operata, I might decide to use Operata. I think I still have some credits. Yeah, let me check. I think I still have some credits on Operata as well. So let me just check if okay, I still got some credits on Operata, so I might just use Operata for the rest of this. So thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you in my next stream.